Fischer. This is 10 Minutes to Inspire.
Hello, Rob Lake.
Hi, Karin. How are you?
Welcome to Tech.Emotion 10 Minutes to Inspire.
Thank you so much. It's just wonderful to be here.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and what's the venture that best describes you?
Sure. Most importantly, I'm a father and a coach. I've got my oldest son is 25 years old. My youngest son is 8 months old. And that very much guides my viewpoint on the world. I'm just so appreciative of each and every day that I have to help to make this world better for them.
And if you had to think, who has inspired you the most or an experience that has inspired you the most in life, what would that be?
Sure. So many people. I think I can learn from everybody. I learn from you and Mattia every single day. But, thinking about my parents, my mom unfortunately passed 10 years ago, and she died of cancer super quickly. My father, thankfully, is alive and well right now. And so thinking about just how precious life is and how each moment you really need to appreciate. So those things guide me in everything that I do.
And is there a specific lesson that you think that you've learned from that has helped you to be who you are as of today?
Absolutely. Thinking about that, building businesses to help people maximize their potential, those are the things that teach me about gratitude. They teach me about motivation. They teach me about being an honorable and ethical human being. Mm-hmm. If you can look at yourself in the mirror every single day and say, are you proud of who you are? Then you're doing some good stuff.
Can you practice that if somebody who's listening to us doesn't have exactly the attitude?
Sure. And in a lot of ways, that's what we do. And all of us are evolving and growing and learning. Nobody is fixed. And so there are many, many days that I wake up and I'm like, I can do better. I was not as good as I should be. But I, do mindfulness, breathing in the morning. I get involved with hormesis, which is shocking the system in some interesting way, sauna, cold bath, et cetera, et cetera. I journal. I do a lot of volunteering. So there are things that you can do that will alter your physiology, which then alters your mindset and helps you sort of realign.
So realigning is like finding yourself and your ecosystem, and sometimes we are connected to other ecosystems. So if you had to describe to us who you are and in which of them you are creating connections, what is that?
Yeah, this is very important to me. I see myself as a catalyst of other people. First, helping others be their best selves holistically, from their body to their mind to their soul. When people are their best selves, when they are maximizing their potential, then they're able to thrive and be the best performers that they can be. And then I just love connecting one extraordinary person to another extraordinary person. Then the magic just happens.
So it's something that we like to do as,
Exactly.
like connecting and networking and getting to know each other. But going back to what you were talking about, like well-being, right? There are many concepts connected to well-being as of today because of our lifespan, extending. And we've been talking on another podcast about also the importance of the joy span. Alopio actually was defining that. So what's your engagement on these type of issues?
Yeah, this is our whole company premise. So we help high performers, people who are at the top of their game, think about who they want to be, not just in the next 12 months or the next couple of quarters, but in the next 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And the idea of health span, obviously, is you want to be thriving for your entire life. And we take a holistic approach where we think about the physical body, we think about mental and emotional health, and we think about cognition a lot. And those things are not independent actors. They are all completely interconnected. And each person needs a different plan and a different set of protocols and tools in order to maximize what they want to do. So that's at its core what we do for leaders.
And you talked about the emotional well-being, and if you had to talk about your emotions, which would be the one that actually say that one is the one that drives me in life?
Oh my gosh. Well, my wife and my parents and my good friends would say you can never put Rob in a box, and so there are too many. I have Jamaican parents, so I'm very passionate. I'm very competitive, but also I love cats. I'm very empathetic. I get sad. I cry. I laugh. If I don't laugh daily, it's been a bad day. Music is very important to me. I can feel it in my soul when I'm listening to good music. So there are so many emotions that make up who I am, and I love that. I think that the only thing that I am not, and there are times when I need it, I'm not a very stoic person. I react, but then I reflect, and then I critique myself, or I'm proud of myself. But those folks who are just constantly calm, I admire that, but that's not me.
And you tell me you coach people, right?
Yeah.
And so when you are coaching them, what are the two main elements, let's say, that you try to either guide them to learn or try to understand from them?
Yeah, I think the two core things are goals and honesty. So it's all about their goals. Where do they want to get to? And then helping them along the way. So that's goals. But then honesty is key, because oftentimes, and especially men, have an outsized opinion as to how well they're doing.
Okay.
There are...
But there's a gender bias on that.
Absolutely. And it's actually often on either side of the spectrum, where women underestimate just how well they're doing. And that brings stress, and it brings other negative things which get in the way of them maximizing their potential. And men oftentimes overestimate how fit they are, or how smart they are, or how well organized they are, or how well they're handling multitasking, which nobody does well. So that honesty, through love, of course, helps people to see where they are, and then helps them to get where they want to go.
And in order to make ourselves a more sustainable people, we have to find the right balance. And you've been telling us what is probably part of your routine. And do you think we can also reflect on how this would increase our longevity?
Yeah. Well, you mentioned several things in there. Balance is extraordinarily important. And balance doesn't mean necessarily doing equal parts of everything each day. There are some times where you need to focus more on work, or focus more on fitness, or focus more on nutrition, or focus more on fun, relaxation, reflection, of course. So there are different levers that you can pull on. You also mentioned sustainability. You have to be, if this world is going to be maximize our potential as a world, then we have to have a sense of inner kindness, and then obviously share that kindness to others. And the only way that works is to be engaged in work that helps other people. So those are the things that I think a lot about. But it's an ongoing journey. I think the last thing that I'll say about this, and we do this in our coaching, is you have to be very kind to yourself. You have to be very forgiving to yourself. It's easy to be driven, and it's good to be driven, but if you're constantly criticizing yourself, that's going to get in the way of your flourishing. So you have to be kind to yourself and empathic to yourself as well.
And we've been talking a lot about, emotions and this mindfulness and all these soft aspects of our life, if we want. How is all this connected to business?
Well, that's everything. It's everything. There is not a brand that sells a product that's not based on emotion. take Apple, for example. Apple happens to be able to create an experience of opening a box and pulling out a cord that makes you feel really good. Apple's not saying, hey, this is the best cord ever. They're not even saying this is the best technical computer ever. It's all about feelings. Nike is about feelings. So it's the core of business, I believe, and it's the core of what you're doing with Tech.Emotion. You're bringing together some of the smartest people from around the world, and you're saying, okay, here are these extraordinarily important, vexing questions to humanity. How are we going to approach this? But you're bringing together people who care about emotions.
So thank you very much, Rob, for being with us today.
It's absolutely my pleasure. Thank you.
This was Tech.Emotion, 10 minutes to inspire.